Alright, so here we are on wedding day for Brittany and Sport, and we don't know who's going to watch this video many years from now, so tell us your name and how you know the bride and groom.
Alright, my name is Mackenzie. I moved down here 3 years ago from Pennsylvania, and I started working at the same restaurant as Sport and Britni. And Britni was actually my trainee, I was her trainee. So Britni took me to the side and showed me how to work the restaurant. Got to know me, got to know my story, introduced me into Sport. Britney's also the type of girl that any person that's like new to the restaurant takes them by their wing, introduce them to people, and then always like takes them out afterwards. Either we would go to the bar, go to the next hangout. So Britney was always taking anyone that moved here, just like making sure they have friends and family. Because yeah.
So you've known them for a few years now. So what gave you the indication that a wedding was going to be planned? Did she tell you about it, or did you kind of suspect it pretty soon?
So when I first started working with her, and I was training with her, she told me she was pregnant with her little baby girl Emery now, and I forget if she was engaged yet, or she was engaged after the fact. I think she was already engaged. So we knew there was a wedding. I'm pretty sure she was engaged before, but we knew there was a wedding in the plan. But our friendship grew over the past 2 years, year and a half. Like our first year was just like restaurant friends, but then it turned out to be more than restaurant friends. We're like more family friends now. And we used to live like only a block from each other, so.
Well, that's a cool story. So what's it feel like to be a part of her wedding and a bridesmaid especially?
I'm thrilled, just telling the story about how we met and everything, and how we grew as, like I said, there's restaurant friends, you could leave the restaurant and you can never talk to your restaurant friends ever again, which I don't work there as much anymore, but me and her kept the friendship, been with Sport through the restaurant and out the restaurant, so I'm thrilled to be a part of it.
Awesome. All right, so let's have some fun.
Okay.
Predictions for today. First off, when she walks down the sand trail and towards Sport turns around and sees her in that beautiful dress. Between the two of them, if they tear up, which one will cry first?
I think Britni will cry first.
Britni might have some happy tears.
I think Britni will start it and Sport will follow.
They might both have some. All right. Okay, predictions for their lives. How many more children, if they have any more, how many do you predict they'll have? Will it be boy, girl, boy, boy? What do you think?
I think they might be set with Emery, but they would. Maybe some girls, maybe another girl. Yeah.
Okay, maybe. So your prediction's one more. Okay.
Maybe one more.
All right, maybe one more. All right. Here's one to dream about. It's nice to fantasize about this. Let's say Britni calls Sport up one day and says, honey, can you stop off and pick up some snacks and pick up some sodas? And just on a whim, Sport buys a lottery ticket, just for fun. Doesn't think much about it. 3 days later, they look and they've just won $500 million. What would they do with all that money, and where would they settle down, if at all?
I think their heart is here, but I also think they would buy maybe a house in Kentucky where her family's all from, so she can go back and forth and have a home, even though she has her friend's home and her mom's home. But I think they would definitely settle here, maybe closer to the beach, and then also have a place in Kentucky.
With that much money, they could pretty much buy anything, anywhere. It's nice to dream about anyway. Okay. Predictions for what the kids' careers might be once they grow up, having the influence of Sport and Britni in their lives. What do you predict, maybe as a guess, their careers might be?
Lil Emery, she's a firecracker right now, but I know Britni would try to maybe push her into the medical field, like nursing, or honestly, I'm just going to throw it out there as a teacher. I can see her doing something like that for now. Yeah.
That'd be a cool career. Awesome. All right. So you think they'll stay around here? You think their ties are pretty well right here?
I absolutely think that. Like, sports family's 2 hours away in Ocala, but their home is here. They love it here.
Awesome. Can't beat the beach, that's for sure. All right. So they're getting ready to get married, and they've been together for a while, and they have little Emery, but married life throws curveballs at you. Sometimes there are days when you just don't want to think about one another, see each other, just even speak to one another. For when those times come, what's some advice you might share with the bride and groom?
I would say always have patience with each other. Let everyone have their say. Like, let everyone talk about what they need to talk about, and then just remember that you guys love each other and go from there.
Excellent advice, young lady. All right, finally, the sentimental things. What do you want to say as far as best wishes, hopes, dreams, things they accomplish 1 year, 5 year, 50 years from now?
I know you love it down here, and I know this is where your heart is and everything, and I'm excited for both of you guys' lives and see what you guys want to do with it. Maybe change up things a little bit in your, like, I knew you think about going back to nursing. I encourage you to do that. I think that would be great for you guys, and I know you guys both love the restaurant. You guys do that. We love Bahama Breeze, and I'm excited for our 2 girls to be hanging around in a year. So we're going to be definitely closer as a family and friends.
All right, so here we are on the wedding day of Britni and Sport, and we don't know who's going to watch this many years from now. So first off, tell us your name and how you know the bride and groom.
My name's Ashley, and she is my cousin.
Oh, so you've known Britni for a long time.
Yes.
All her life. So we want to hear the inside scoop. First off, I'm gonna get Britni in trouble and let the kids hear this. What was Britni like growing up? What was it like to see her growing up? And was she mischievous or well behaved?
She was not well behaved. No, she was not. She was mischievous, funny. She was we competed a lot, especially for my grandma's love. So
some rivalry there.
Yes.
Okay. So what's it feel like to be a part of the wedding and see this day actually come to fruition?
It's been a long time. I mean, I am so excited. It's been so stressful. They've gone through so much in the last year and a half. And I'm glad it's here. I'm proud of her. And I'm glad she found the one. So
I didn't mean to make you cry. Happy tears.
Yes.
Happy tears. Mean videographer. All right, so let's have some fun. Let's trade those tears in for some smiles. Let's have some predictions for today. When they walk out on the beach here in just a few hours, and Sport turns around and sees her in that pretty dress, and she looks at him into those handsome eyes he's got. Between the two of them, if they tear up, who do you predict might cry first? Sport's going to tear up. Okay.
Sport will tear up. Yes.
He's going to have some emotional moments seeing his beautiful bride. That happens a lot. That's sweet. All right. Do you think they're just settled with Emery, or do you think they might add 1 or 2 to the family?
Emery's the last one.
You think that's it?
Yep,
Okay.
she got her stuff out, so she has to be the last one.
Okay. Well, you never know. They could adopt.
Yeah, they could.
You never know. All right. Here's one just nice to dream about. We can all dream about this. Let's say Britni calls Sport up one afternoon and says, "Honey, can you stop off and pick up some milk and potatoes or whatever?" And just on a whim, he says, "I'm going to buy a lottery ticket." Doesn't think much about it. 3 days later, they look and they've just won $500 million or even more. What would they do with all that money? And where would they settle down, if at all?
They'd stay here. They'd definitely stay here. What would they do? Britney's a saver. She doesn't like money out of her account. So I know they buy a bigger home. So. And then she better give me some money.
I was going to say, well, you got to pass some along.
Right. I better get at least $1 million.
Yeah, that'd be all right. Well, that much money, they could just buy a private island and just move the family and everybody down there.
A family compound.
There you go. Fun to dream about anyway. All right. Let's see. Predictions for what the kids, once they grow up, what will their careers be, do you think?
For Emery?
What do you think Emery's career might be? Just as a guess.
I'm going to say a veterinarian.
Veterinarian, okay. So we had medical, we had teacher, and we've got veterinarian. So that's pretty cool. Those will all be fun careers. All right. Okay, here's a serious one. They've been together a long time, been through a whole heck of a lot and a lot more. But married life comes with some unique challenges. Bills, finances, kids, school, tug of war between all different times together and all of that. What's some advice you might give them for when the rough times come? They may not want to just think about one another, see each other, even just be around one another.
At the end of the day, because there's so many people that come into have opinions on their stuff. At the end of the day, they're the only two that matter, them and their child. And no matter what, they have to remember that every single day. Put each other first, no matter if you're mad or not.
Amen to that, girl. I like that. Keep it between themselves. That's right. I love that. All right. Finally, the sentimental stuff. I don't want to make you cry.
I probably will.
What do you want to say to her as far as best wishes for Britni, best wishes for sport, best wishes for them together, for Emery, just all the sentimental things you hope they accomplish, kind of like in the job interview, the 1 year, 5 year, 50-year plan?
I just wish that they strive to be better than what they are now. Like, I mean, they're great now, but everybody can always be better, and I wish that for them that it gets better in life. And I just want to tell Britni how proud I am of her. 6 years ago, this would have never happened. So, yeah, I'm proud, and she needs to continue to grow the way she's going and keep the heart that she has.
So here we are on wedding day for Britni in sport, and you don't know who's going to watch this many years from now. So tell us your name and how you know the bride and groom.
My name is Brandy, and I met Sport and Britni at Bahama Breeze when I started working with them. And Britni is the type of person, when she meets you, she just automatically takes you in, takes you under her wing, and she included me. She made me part of their group, and so I got to know them, and then we just got closer and closer, and now here we are.
Here we are.
Uh-huh.
So what's it feel like to be asked to be a bridesmaid in their wedding?
Oh, it's a great honor. It makes me feel super, super good, because though she is welcoming to everyone, that close-knit circle, that's not for everyone, so I'm happy about it. It lets me know that our friendship is good, it's strong, that we're going to keep it going. I told her that I can't wait to see the future, so.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
All right, so let's have some fun. First predictions for today. When she walks down that trail in a few hours, all in that pretty dress, and Sport turns around and sees her walking toward him. Between the two of them, if they tear up, who do you think will cry first?
Britni.
You think Britni will cry?
I think she's going to be crying before he even turns around.
It's about 75-25 Britni versus, we had one for Sport.
I think that
but if she cheers up, he might just break down.
He might, but I think that he's going to just be so excited and so happy. But I know I am certain she will cry.
Awesome.
So.
All right, so here's a fun one to fantasize or dream about.
Okay.
All right, so Britni calls Sport up one day from work, says, "Honey, can you stop off and buy some chips, potato salad, or whatever?" And he does, and just on a whim, he thinks, "I'm going to buy a Powerball ticket." I don't think much about it. 3 days later, 3 years later, they check it, they've just won $500 million, or $1 billion, whatever the jackpot is. What do you think they would do with all that money, and where would they settle down, if at all?
They would probably pick. Britni's super responsible, and I like to think that she definitely keeps everything in balance and everything for her and Sport. So I think that she would probably pay off all their debt, and then I hate to say this, they'd probably go to Vegas.
Well, that much money they could
they'd
buy.
probably go to they'd probably pay off all their debt, pay off their house, and then go on a trip.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially since they've gotten married and they've had to wait a really long time. They probably go on like a nice honeymoon.
It's fun to dream about.
Yeah, it is. But they are fairly responsible, so I don't think that they would be the people who just go out and blow it.
Wouldn't splurge on too many fancy.
No, I think that they would.
Maybe,
they would do
maybe
the
give a little
responsible.
to their friends though. A couple million wouldn't hurt.
I mean, they probably just include us along on all the trips. You know.
There you go.
They do like to travel with us.
That's an
so.
idea. They could buy a private jet and just fly you guys around Vegas, Paris, wherever.
Absolutely.
All right. So switching gears, speaking of married life, it comes with unique challenges. Now they've been through a lot already in their lives. Already have Emery. And goodness knows that once you tie the knot and make it official, there's finances, there's help, there's stress, there's kids, there's schools, there's sports. For those days when they don't want to think about each other, look at each other, even see one another, what's some advice you might give those two to calm and make it just as calm as the water out here today?
Patience. Remember where it started, and remember what it took to get where you're at. That's hard. It's difficult. It wasn't promised to be easy. You didn't take vows for it to be easy. It's commitment and tough work. So patience, and remember what put you here in the first place. And when it feels like it's really tough, just remember that you have people that love you, that you can always turn to and lean on, including myself.
Amen, girl. I like that.
Yeah.
Good and excellent advice.
Try not to tear up. I just got my makeup done, so
Yeah, I don't want to make you cry.
yeah.
All right. Goodness, I don't want to make you cry, but
No,
finally,
you're gonna say something. You're gonna ask me something. I'm
finally,
sorry.
the sentimental thing.
Okay.
What all do you want to see them accomplish in life? What do you want to say to them when they watch this video? Maybe they might not watch it for a year or so. Hopefully, they'll watch it sooner.
I just want them to be happy. They already have a daughter. I don't know if they'll be blessed or they'll bless any of us with more children, but you know, they have a beautiful daughter, so the family aspect of it is fantastic already. They bought their first house together, which is incredible. I'd love to see them be happy with that and finish all their projects that they want to, so they can finally settle in and enjoy it, and do all the things that they wanted to do. Travel where you want to, take your daughter where you want to. So just be happy. Be happy. That would be great. I think that's the greatest accomplishment. So
Here we are on wedding day for Miss Britni and sport. And first thing we want to ask you, girl, is what you're feeling.
Ooh, what am I feeling? I'm excited.
You guys have been planning this. You've been together a long time.
Yes.
Been through a lot. Had to deal with a lot, but the day's finally here. I mean, what's it mean to see it finally T-minus just a few hours and it's going to be official?
What does it mean? We made it. We overcame all the obstacles and hurdles to get here, and I'm really proud of us.
So tell us about how you chose this beach, this particular spot for the wedding.
So Sport and I got engaged on the beach, and I have always been a beach girl. And so ever since I was a little girl, this is the plan that I've had. And so with his help, we made it come true.
Wow. Well, this is a dream come true for you since a little girl. That's sweet. That's precious. All right. Let's see. Let's have
I
some
don't feel like
fun
these are good
predictions.
answers.
No, you're doing perfect. So fun predictions. We've already polled some of your bridesmaids. We're going to interview a few more people, but your prediction, when you walk down that trail in just a few hours and you look at Sport and he looks back at you, between the two of you, if you do tear up, who do you think might tear up first? Are you going to lose it, or do you think Sport might have some tears?
I've always said that I'm not going to cry, but as you can tell, the emotions are coming out today. So I think we'll both be crying. I don't think there's going to be a first. I think we're both going to be so overcome with emotion.
That's been the consensus amongst the ones polled, is that there's going to be happy tears between the two of you. But you deserve it. You deserve it, girl. And who could ask for a more perfect day? Man,
Beautiful.
Beautiful. All right. Tell us about honeymoon plans.
We are going on a 9-day cruise. So we're going to visit all of the Virgin Islands, and we've got some excursions planned, and I'm really just looking forward to a lot of alone time. We don't get that. So we're going to take full advantage of it and enjoy it as much as we can.
I don't blame you. You guys' work schedule keeps you busy.
Yes.
All right, so let's turn back the clock many years or a few years. We want to hear the story from Britni's perspective. I want to hear how you guys first met.
We first met at work, and sport did not want anything to do with me. And I was persistent, and I showed him, I believe, how beautiful life can be if you share it with someone else. And you stay committed and devoted to each other and stick to a plan. So, and I think that Sport and I did a really good job of doing that. And I really honestly feel like together we just don't make each other better, but we're a force to be reckoned with.
There you go. So tell us the story about the proposal, the engagement.
Yes. So I was completely surprised. It was one of the last pretty days that it was going to happen down here on the beach, and after a lot of convincing, Sport asked me to come spend the day at the beach with him, and I was being a pain. I wasn't in the best mood. I was pregnant with Emery, and we happened to be walking down the beach, and he knew that sunflowers were my favorite flower, and he said, "Look, there's some sunflowers over there, let's go buy one." And then when we got closer, I was like, they're not selling sunflowers, someone's about to get engaged. And sure enough, it was us. So
Oh my gosh.
it was very, very special.
What a romantic story. That's sweet. He knew your favorite flower and had them ready on the beach.
Yes. Mhm.
That's sweet. All right, so let's see. Tell us about the first time you met his family.
The first time I met Sport's family was at his grandfather's funeral. So that was the first time that I was able to meet his whole entire family. And I was nervous, but they always tell me that was made for him, that I was able to get him out of his shell and just be able to get out and enjoy life. So Sport's family is great. They know that I'm a firecracker, and they've accepted me, and it couldn't make me happier.
So what about the first time he met your family?
The first time that he met my family, my mom had 10,000 questions for him. Go figure. And I think he was nervous, but we went scootering, and he showed up late. So I think he was even more nervous because, you know me, I like people to be on time. So it was a good time. Yeah.
Awesome. All right. So tell us about, like they say in a job interview, the 1 year, 5 year, 10-year goals. What are some of the things you guys hope to accomplish in life?
Ooh. That's tough because I feel like we're there. I feel like a big thing for us was to find our dream home, which we did. I think in the future, to be honest with you, I feel like we have everything that we want. For the future, 5-10 years down the road, I want us to be able to spend more time together. Yes.
That's beautiful. All right. Speaking of dreams, let's just for fantasy, it's nice to dream about anyway. You call up Sport one day at the office or at work and say, "Honey, can you stop off and pick off a loaf of bread and some chips and sodas?" And just on a whim, he buys a lottery ticket. And y'all don't think much about it. A couple of days later, you check it, and you two have just won $500 million.
Okay.
It's nice to dream anyway.
Yes.
What would you guys first splurge on? What would be the first thing that Sport would splurge on and you, Britni, would want to splurge on?
Oh, goodness gracious. Sport would be off in the mountains somewhere. I feel like he would plan an epic trip to hike. For me, I'm not sure what I would do with that type of money. I don't know. I don't know. I think I would travel with him.
I was going to say that's the dream, is like buy a private jet and just, honey, you feel like crab legs, let's fly out to Seattle or whatever. Just travel the world.
Yes.
All right. Tell me about your bridal party. Tell me about these beautiful ladies that are here today to stand beside you.
Sure. So Ashley, my maid of honor, is my cousin. We grew up together. Our moms are sisters. We have went through every stage of life together, and she's very, very important to me. Brandy, we met at work, and she is the person that I would end up in jail with. Brandy takes care of me, and we can go a really long time without talking, and it's like nothing has ever changed, and I appreciate that about her. Mackenzie. She makes me cry. Mackenzie is very, very special to me. We kind of have a sister role together. Mackenzie and I are both down here without our families, trying to live this beautiful dream that we have imagined for ourselves. And it's nice to have someone to depend on when your family isn't around. And we became family, and without her, I wouldn't be as happy as I am here. Yeah. And then we have my cousin Jessica. She is the person I looked up to the most growing up. She was fun. She always snuck and let me do things that my parents wouldn't let me do. And I always wanted to be just like her when I grew up. So to have someone that you wanted to be just like growing up here standing beside you is very, very special to me as well.
That's beautiful. Beautiful young ladies, too. I love it. All right. Let's see. The final thing, real sentimental. If you had sport here right now, alone, just you two, what would you want to say to him right before you say your vows?
Ooh. Today's our day, and I hope that we can sit back, enjoy it, take it all in, and appreciate that this is probably the only time in our lives where all of the most important people that we cherish will be together. So I hope that we just have a great time, and as always, to just breathe. That's all.
Here we are on Britni and Sport's wedding day with the father of the bride. And the first question we have and ask as always is, what are you feeling?
I don't know. It's the first time. I don't know. Never thought of that question.
It got to be kind of emotional a little bit, seeing your little girl
Yeah.
married off.
Yeah.
So we want to go back in time and have some fun. I want to hear the story about the first time you met Sport.
The first time, I can't even remember. I don't remember. I think Britni brought him home, I guess. I can't remember, to be honest with you.
So do you remember anything about when he came to ask for her hand?
Oh, yeah, yep. Actually, I do remember that was my dad's benefit thing, his memorial. He brought him to the memorial, and he asked her.
Oh, wow.
Yep.
So what's it feel like to see this day finally here? And I hear her dream since a little girl was a beach wedding.
Yeah. It's good. Yeah.
All right, so let's have some fun predictions.
Yeah.
When she walks out on that beach and Sport turns around and sees her and she looks at him, between the two of them, who do you think might tear up and cry first?
Between them two?
Between those two.
I would beat Britni.
I think Britni
She
will
was
cry.
already in here tearing up when she came talk to me.
She's already teared up a
Yeah.
little bit. Mom has too. So.
Yeah.
All right. Predictions about Emery's career, growing up, having Sport as a dad and Britni as a mom. What do you think her career, just guessing, 25 years when she looks back on this, what do you think her career might be?
Oh, I don't know. She's got a lot of potential for everything. Anything, actually. So, hard to say.
Yeah, we've had
Hard
predictions
to
from
say.
veterinarian to teacher to police officer,
She
so
could-
all of the above.
She can be anything.
Awesome.
Let her decide that.
Yeah, definitely. Okay. Switching subject to the more serious stuff. Married life comes with challenges. There's kids and school and finances and health and stress and money and all of that sort of thing. There may be times when they don't see eye to eye, or there's other times when they don't just want to see each other at all.
Yeah.
What's some advice Dad might give those two to keep them level-headed?
Just listen to yourself, both of you together, you know.
Excellent advice.
Just, yeah. Take both sides. Look at it both
Some
ways.
people say that God gave us 2 ears and 1 mouth. So
Yeah.
listen before you speak.
Everybody, yeah. Take each
harder
other's
to do,
advice.
harder to do sometimes, but
Yeah.
anyway.
Take each other's advice.
All right. Here's a fun thing to dream about. Let's say Britni calls Sport up one afternoon at work and says, "Honey, can you pick up some bread and stuff?" He stops off at a quick stop. Just on a whim, he buys a lottery ticket. Doesn't think much about it. A few weeks later, they check and, oh my gosh, they've just won $1 billion. They've hit the mega millions. What would they do with all that money, and where would they want to settle down, if at all?
Probably stay here in Florida, buy a nicer house.
You could buy several houses with that kind of money.
Yeah. That's what I, yeah.
Travel the world. Who
Yeah.
knows? All right. Finally, some sentimental things. What do you want to say to your daughter? What do you want to see them accomplish as a couple, individually, and eventually as a big old happy family?
Just be together as long as you can.
All right, here we are on Britni and Sport's wedding day, and we are here. You don't know who's going to watch this video many years from now, so tell us who you are and how you know the bride and groom.
So, my name is Jessica. I am Brittany's cousin on her dad's side. And I've met Sport a few times so far. So.
Okay, so what's it feel like to be a bridesmaid in her wedding and see this day actually come to fruition?
I am so excited for her. Like, she's been talking about this day for a long time, and she deserves it. I'm very excited.
She told us a moment ago that a beach wedding was her dream since a little girl. So her dream's coming true in just a few hours.
Absolutely. And I
Couldn't
can't
pick
wait.
a more beautiful day. Man, this is gorgeous.
I know. I'm gonna be out there sweating and cold at the same time, but I got you.
All right, so let's have some fun. Predictions for today, this afternoon, when she's in that beautiful white dress, walks down the beach, and Sport turns around and sees her. She sees him. Between the two of them, who do you think's going to cry first?
Sport.
Sport. Okay, it's about 50-50
It
now.
might be 50-50 though, because it could be both of them today, because I know it's been kind of stressful. So
If one tears up, the other just might follow.
Oh, yeah.
Happy tears amongst everyone.
absolutely.
Then the whole group just might break.
And everybody cries.
What happened at the beach? Everybody's crying.
Everyone's crying.
I love it. All right. Let's see some other fun predictions on their life. As Emery grows up having Sport and Britni as the influence of mom and dad, what do you predict her career might be? Just out of just fun prediction.
Ooh, a fun prediction. Emery. Trying to think. I think she's definitely going to do something traveling the world, because she can't sit still. So I think she's going to do something. She's ready to explore. So
Ready to take on the world.
Yes.
Awesome. I
Yes.
love that. All right. So tell me about the first time, since you're the cousin of Britni, tell me about the first time you met Sport.
He introduced himself to my son at our grandpa's celebration of life. And when he introduced himself, my son, I guess, didn't hear him. It was like, he said, "My name is Sport." My son was like, "Oh yeah, I like sports." And he was like, "No, that's my name." So that's like the first time I met him.
Okay. So when did you first hear about or learn that the wedding was happening?
I think when everybody else did, when it was on Facebook and she announced it, and you know, we live states away, so we're really.
So it was a social media blast
Yeah,
that kind of
like,
made it.
yeah.
Okay. All right. Let's see. We talked about predictions and fun stuff. Let's have another one. Here's the one to dream about. We've asked this amongst a lot of people. Let's say Britni calls Sport up work one day and says, "Honey, can you stop off and pick up some sodas?" And he stops by at a Quick Stop. On a whim, he buys a lottery ticket. Doesn't think much about it. Checks it a few days later, and they've just won $750 billion. They've just hit the mega millions. What would they do with all that money, and where would they settle down?
That's a hard one. I think. She just give it all to me.
Well, that sounds fair.
I'm just kidding. You know what? I don't know. I think they definitely would get things that they need just to be happy for a while. I don't know where they'd settle down, but stay at the beach, guys. Stay close to the beach as you can. That cold
Seems to
weather
be
up
the
north-
consensus.
yeah.
They're going to stay at the beach.
That cold weather up north. Oof.
No, it even snowed in Gulf Shores
Yeah.
where we're at. So
Ooh.
no, thank you. So, all right. Let's see. Okay, serious stuff. They've been together for a while. Probably had a few disagreements or spats between the two of them. But married life comes with challenges: kids, school, finances. Mom, I need this. Dad, I need this.
Right.
What's some advice you might give them for when they don't see eye to eye, or maybe just don't want to see each other at all?
Don't ever go to bed angry. And if Sport makes you mad, Britni, just make sure you get yours first. And then you go to bed angry. That's all I can say.
All righty then. All right. Finally, the sentimental stuff. What do you want to say to cousin Britni? What do you want them to accomplish in life, both individually and as a big happy family?
I love you guys, and I see nothing but happiness through the hard times, the good times, and you guys are opposites, but the same. And I'm happy for you guys, and I love you guys. Can't wait to come back.
So here we are, wedding day for your daughter Britni and Sport.
Yes.
So first thing we gotta know is what you're truly feeling today to see this day finally here.
I'm excited, nervous, happy, a little sad, and full of emotions.
A little potpourri of everything.
Absolutely, yes. Been waiting for this day for a long time.
So we interviewed Britni, and she said it's been her dream since a little girl to have a beach wedding, and here it is finally happening.
Yes.
So, looking back in time, we want to get Britni in trouble a little bit.
Okay.
So, raising Britni, was it a challenge? Was she a well-behaved girl? You know, because Emery's going to get to watch this and then pick on Mom. So.
Right. You know, they say an apple doesn't fall too far from a tree. Yes. So Britni, for 12 years, was an only child, and so, you know, and I always wanted a little girl. I remember when Britni was born, you know, and up to that point, I always had asked God just to bring me someone that I could love unconditionally, and they could love me, and Britni is that person to me. She's your typical, I think, girl, you know, spoiled rotten, you know, and she had her teenage years, and for the longest time we had a love-hate relationship. And then when she was about 18, she came back to me, so to speak, and we just have the best relationship. She's my best friend.
That's sweet. So, all right. Now I want to have some fun. I want to hear about the first time you met Sport.
Okay, so this first time I met Sport, we were meeting in downtown Tampa along the Riverwalk, and we were renting scooters, and Sport was an hour and a half late. And Britni lost her cookies. And I had my son with me and my son's best friend, and I remember he pulled up, and the best way I can describe it is he's this tall guy, and he was in the smallest car, like a Flintstone car, and I felt like we should take the top off and his head would pop up and you would just see him driving like this. I didn't know what to expect, but I just, like, literally, I think it was like a 1970 car. it was like the smallest boxcar, and this big giant gets out, but he's just a gentle giant. I literally cannot ask for a better person for my daughter and a better son-in-law for me. He literally is the yin to her yang.
That's sweet. So, all right, tell us about the first time you found out the engagement or proposal happened.
Yes, so Sport had reached out to me to let me know that he was, wanting to propose to Britni, and my thoughts on things like ring settings and things like that, and about asking her dad for her hand. So we had a really great conversation, so I kind of knew that it was planned, what was going to happen. When he purchased the ring, I remember he was out in the mall parking lot, and he literally FaceTimed me to show me the ring, so I kind of was the first person after himself to see the ring, and it has just been fun and exciting since then. It's been awesome, kind of a roller coaster lately with the last year, everything they've been through. But yeah, and then he came to Kentucky and asked her dad for her hand, and he gave his blessings, and we've been full speed ahead since then.
Well, that's awesome. They have been through a lot. This
Yes.
has been a long time coming.
Yes,
So
absolutely.
let's have some fun about predictions for today. So
Predictions.
when she goes out there in that beautiful dress, walks down the sand towards Sport, and they look at one another eye to eye, between the two of them, who do you think is going to tear up and cry first?
Oh gosh, that's a really, really good question. I would say when Sport sees her walking down the aisle, he is going to get emotional. Sport is a very compassionate, he's not afraid to show his emotions, and he just loves Britni so much. However, I do think that when Britni starts to say her vows, that is when the tears are going to start flowing for her. And I'll already be crying, so I'll be crying before I even...
You're going to beat them to it.
Yes.
Perfect. All right. Here's some fun predictions.
Okay.
What do you think Emery's career will be once she grows up and gets out of school? What do you think she might, what type of line of work might she go into?
A police officer with that spunky redheaded personality. She's your typical redhead. That's a great question. I really don't know. I think she's your typical toddler right now, but she does have that redheaded personality, and so she's fearless. She is surrounded by love, and she knows that. She's not afraid of adventure, or exploring her environment. And I can see her everywhere from a teacher to a police officer to a world traveler. Maybe she might climb Mount Rushmore. I think the world is hers for the taking, and I think as she grows up and she evolves, we'll be able to see exactly what career path she's going to take.
Wow, that's awesome. All right. Here's one to fantasize about or dream about.
Okay.
Let's say, just on a whim, those two go out on a dinner date and they stop off and just get a few groceries and they buy a Powerball ticket.
Mm-hmm.
Don't think much about it. Check it a few days later. They've just won $700 million. They've just hit the Mega Millions jackpot. What do you think the first thing they would splurge on would be? What would probably the most lavish thing they would want to buy?
Oh, that's a great question. The first thing that comes to my mind is they're going to take a big old cruise. But I also feel like that they would probably build their dream home. And I think that they would be very compassionate and empathetic to their family. I can see them doing that, and definitely making sure they secure a future and education for Emory. But I would suspect it would probably be to build their forever home and plan some trips.
Yeah, that would be odd. That's a fun thing. That's nice to dream about.
Yes.
You can hope it for them. That's
Yes,
for
absolutely.
sure. All right. Let's see. We asked about predictions. We asked about the fun stuff. Now let's get serious.
Okay.
So with married life comes challenges, and they've been together for a while. I'm sure they've had a few disagreements and spats, as we call it. But married life brings kids and school and finances and all sorts of challenges. What's some advice that mom might give to those two for when they don't see eye to eye, or maybe just don't want to see each other at all?
That's another great question. I would say that communication is the key to a happy marriage and also having laughter. And I feel like when you are having those challenging times or deep discussions or even don't agree on things, I always feel like you should start every discussion when it's at that point with I love you, but we need to talk about this, and when I'm done I'm still going to love you. I think you need to reassure that person that you love them, but you do need to talk about this, but also that I think you need to remind them that you're still going to love them afterwards.
That's beautiful advice. I love that. That's good advice from Mom.
Yes.
Listen up, kids. That's good advice. All right. Finally, the sentimental stuff. I don't want to make you cry, but your little baby girl is going to get married off here soon.
Yeah.
What do you hope they accomplish, like in a job interview, like the 1 year, 5 year, 50-year goal? What do you hope they accomplish, both individually and as a family?
I hope that they continue to grow individually, and seek out opportunities to make their marriage and their union and their family life more stable, whether it's financially, emotionally, mentally. And I think that moving forward, to your point, I always say kind of begin with the end in mind. So where do you want to be in 10 years? Where do you want to be in 20 years? And you start to have to map that out now and plan for it. But also be flexible and accommodating. And, I think they just need to take it step by step. This past year, with everything they've been through, with canceling the wedding because of the surgery, 3 months, being off of work, buying the new home, they have Emory now, and they've been through so much trials and tribulation. I feel like at this point there's nothing that they can't overcome together, and I feel like that they're really good about sitting down and having those conversations and where do we want to be in a year or 5 years. And I think it's just open to them. They're going to make it what they want to make it, and they're such a great couple. They just complement each other so well. I feel like that they've got this. Whatever they decide to do, they've got this.
All right, so here we are with the brother of the bride on their wedding day with Sport and Britni, and we want to hear some juicy stories about what it was like growing up with the bride.
Oh God.
You can spill the beans because she's going to watch this and either laugh or want to kill me as the videographer.
If I had enough, I could probably be out here all night. Just watch the wedding from here. She's... Oh, gosh. Well, Brittany's lived with us for a couple years, and, I was probably 8, 9 around the time, and I didn't really understand, obviously sister brother things, and I was the youngest of them all, so I got dealt with the front most of it. But man, I'd tell you, every time Brittany goes somewhere and she gets mad, and it's just like it's World War III, and I gotta start taking cover before stuff starts. Like I have a vibe. Her mom's the same way, but not as fiery. She'll definitely go out there and get her. They're both go-getters. They'll get her way whenever something happens. The only one time I'm sure Britni will know about this is one time that sticks out to me was when we went to KFC, and as you know, KFC and fast food restaurants have a bunch of teenagers that don't know what the heck they're doing, and Britni got mad because she thought our food was sitting out on the ledge, and it was fairly cold that day, and she saw the bag there and nobody was out there attending her, and she goes, these motherfuckers, they why the hell are they leaving our bag of food outside, and it's getting cold because we've been waiting there for 5 minutes. And she gets into it with the 16-year-old just to find out that bag on the counter was just the bag full of sauces. That wasn't even food. And oh Lord, and keep in mind, my friend was sitting in the front seat of the car. I was in the back seat at the time, and Brittany was in the back with us, and my mom was the one driving, and my mom specifically pulled up so that the passenger backside was the one at the window, not her. And her and the 16-year-old gets into it, and the second that drew the line was the 16-year-old flipped her off. And oh my gosh, She was like a hyena, jabbing at the door, like wanting to fight. And keep in mind, my friend's up there in the passenger seat, and he knows the person. So I'm not even kidding. He's literally in the front seat cowering like this to make sure nobody sees him. And my mom's just stun locked here, and I'm telling my mom to drive, and she won't go. And she's just, because Britni, I'm pretty sure Britni was threatening to kill her if she left. And so she's out there, you know, threatening, kill this whole 16-year-old's bloodline. And all of a sudden, my mom finally drives off, and the next thing you know, not even 5 seconds out the parking lot, she calls the same exact restaurant, starts cussing them out over the phone because she couldn't get enough. That was a whole night. But yeah, it's just, it gets to get inside of.
There you go.
That was like every day too. That was just a highlight.
So some highlight moments, some brother-sister time.
Exactly.
So on a more serious and sentimental side, what's it feel like to see, because she's shared with us that a beach wedding has been her dream since being a baby girl. So what's it feel like, and to see all this come to fruition? What's it feel like to see your sister get married off?
I'm not much of a sentimental guy. I don't really have feelings, but I don't know if that's true about her dream being on the beach. I don't think that's a lie. I think she'd get married wherever, but you know, all I see is this whole wedding thing's been a time waste for me. You know, because of the whole week. You know, I come in September thinking there's a wedding, and then all of a sudden there's no wedding, and I have to come down anyways, and now I have to come down now, and hopefully there is a wedding. Like, there's still 4 hours left, so I don't know if there's still going to be a wedding by the time it's over. But I mean, it's cool seeing it. She's getting married. She's going to be the first one in our family to get married, so she kind of beat us to that. Can't take that anymore.
She's got the reign on that.
Exactly. She's first kid to get married, and honestly, it just gives me an idea of what not to do. You know, like it's been a learning experience for me, because now I know, hey, I can learn from this, and I know how to be better. The first one is not to do it on a beach, because that's just too much.
Never know what the weather's going to be, but fortunately, it's a beautiful day today, so it's meant to be.
I think this is to my knowledge, this might be the second beach wedding in our family.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, the first one was with Shelly, or I don't remember. I think it was with Shelly. That entire side of the family screwed up, but I think she copied the idea from them.
Aha.
Just saying.
All right. On a fun side, let's have some predictions for today. When they see each other out there on the beach, who do you think between the two of them will tear up and cry first, if at all?
You know what? I'm gonna go with sport. I ain't gonna. I don't like, you know, no offense to sport or anything, but like, you know, he's like the big brawny guy, but he gets emotional. Like he's like the bear.
Gotcha,
you know?
big teddy bear.
Yeah,
okay.
He's like the bear, and Britney's like the dog. You know, like she's the pit bull. So I feel like whenever Sport sees her, she's gonna start crying.
Gotcha. All right.
I don't think Britney's gonna cry at all right now.
Do you think they'll stay around here the rest of their lives, or maybe venture off and move somewhere else someday?
You know, I think if they get stable enough, I think they'll probably move back up to Kentucky.
Okay.
I think, you know, I always joke about it, so it's fine. But whenever one of those two bite the dust, I think they're going to take one of their homes and just live there. But it's fine with me as long as I get my cut of money. You know? They can have the house. As long as they give me some money and they can move up here, and, you know, we'll have my mom stop traveling down here and go visit Emory and stuff. It gives me some free time, which I like.
So speaking of money, let's have this is nice to dream about, I guess. Let's say they won the lottery, had $500 million in the bank. What do you think they would do with all that money, and where would they settle down, if at all?
$500 million. Honestly, I don't think they would know what to do with it. I think Britni would blow half of it out in a day. I think sport would be the only one with sound mind and, actually be smart with it. But I think, I don't know. There's always part of me that thinks that they'll just dip and not tell anybody. That's always a possibility. I mean, I don't blame them. I'll do the same thing. She might pull one of my, because I think my dad's a secret millionaire and he hasn't told anybody. She could also do that, just win the lottery, not tell anyone, and just kind of settle down.
Just hide the secret from everyone. Exactly. Not a bad idea.
I think that's what they would do because, as our family is already crazy as it is, I think she's probably going to get afraid of people being like, "Oh, you remember me from 4 years ago? Can I get some money?" Like, I don't want to do that.
Suddenly people want to be friends. It makes sense.
Exactly.
All right. Any advice from brother to sister and soon to be, what's the in-law word I'm looking for? Brother-in-law, I guess it would be. Any advice for them for when they don't see eye to eye, or maybe just don't want to see each other at all?
For sport, I don't blame you. Britni, stop being mean. I don't think, I got to be honest. I don't think sport's ever going to be in the wrong. So, sport, you're doing fine. Britni, you just need to calm down and say you're sorry. That's all it takes.
All right. Finally, the sentimental stuff. What do you want to say to sister, and what do you hope they accomplish 1 year, 5 year, 50 years from now?
50 years from now, well, I guess I'll say that, hopefully you guys do good. Funny stuff. Hopefully you guys, your dreams come true. I know you guys talk about moving back up to Kentucky. If you guys do that, there's no struggles with that. The wedding goes fine. Hopefully this doesn't cut to the wedding not happening. But as much as the struggle of the wedding and stressful stuff been, it's not a bad wedding. It's still a wedding. It's nice. It's on the beach. All your friends and family are around. So I just say take the most of it. Look at the highlights and don't look at the bad stuff. Just praise God. Amen.
All right, so here we are, wedding day of sport, and we want to know who we're talking to as far as the groomsmen. Got to tell us who you are and how you.
All right.
We don't know who's going to watch this.
Well, my name's James Horgan. I'm sure that most of you already know this, and if you're watching this, well, hopefully you're all still alive. I have known Sport over 10 years. We met at Bahama Breeze. Sport and Britni, you guys are still there, which is a fantastic place to work. A lot of very good people. Sport and I, when we first met, we immediately connected. I thought he was cute. We fondled each other. It was a fantastic time. And we still maintain this relationship in secrecy to this day, and Britni doesn't know about it unless she sees this video. I'm very happy to be a part of this special day. I'm very happy for both of them. I'm glad that they have got their house together. They have Emery. They're very happy. Today is going to be fantastic. I unfortunately had to move away a few years ago, so to be able to come back to be a part of this is very special, and I feel very honored to be a part of such a great day. But I'm James, and it's nice to meet you guys.
Oh. All right, here we are. Another groomsman, and we need to know who you are, how you know the bride and groom.
I didn't see you guys come in. My name's Justin Gerald. Met Sport in the at the ripe age of 11. He came and knocked on the front door of the house that my father moved into, a couple blocks away, and asked me if I would join him on a scooter ride. And we've been riding scooters ever since. Very honored to be here as his best man. Very happy for him and the family. I'm looking forward to a beautiful day. What was that?
All right, here we are with another groomsman on the day of sport, and we want to know all about how you guys, or you, know the bride and groom. So tell us who you are and start from there.
Hello everyone, my name is Michael Muhar. I know Sport and Britni, the bride and groom, from working at Bahama Breeze. We have been co-workers for... I started there 8 years ago, and I would say Sport was there before I got there, but Britni was not. So yeah, I know both of them 5+ years. They've been close friends the whole time, and yeah, just great people. I'm excited for today.
So what's it feel like to be a groomsman in their wedding?
It's nice. I've never been a groomsman before in a wedding, so it's different. It's special to me. It's nice to know that, you know, I'm someone special in his life to be a groomsman in his wedding.
What about best wishes for them? What do you hope they accomplish in life, both individually and as a big happy family?
Just all their goals and dreams, you know. Kind of the picture perfect, you know, happily ever after with, you know, being a family, you know, raising their beautiful girl to be a responsible, you know, respecting, you know, adult. Yeah, just hoping for the best for them.
All right, so here we are with the man of the almost hour, Sport, and his beautiful bride, Britni, is up there getting all dolled up. What's it feel like to see your wedding that you guys have been through a lot? Waited a long time. What's it feel like for it to really be here?
Well, a ball of nerves right now, but we're finally here. I'm just happy that we're here, and it's all coming to fruition, and it's all playing out. I'm just happy that it's here and that I can have this day and this moment with Britni, so we can get on and spend the rest of our lives together. And I'm just it's a relief that we made it here. So with some sacrifice, of course, but you know. But yeah, ball of nerves, but at the same time relieved that we made it to the day.
I don't know.
So here we are with Mom and Dad of the groom, and we want to know, first off, what's it feel like to see this day finally here? They've been through so much.
They've been through a lot.
They have been through a lot, and I'm just so excited.
So, all right, now the videographer is going to get the groom in trouble. So when Emery gets to watch this years from now, she's going to learn all about what was it really like raising this young man.
Oh my God!
Anything she hears about her upbringing, I know the author of it. You can't tell by her daddy that he ever had ringlets, but her hair is his hair except for the color, and he was absolutely one of the funnest kids to raise. He was so alive. He was so rambunctious, and well, looks like he's met his match.
Well, that's awesome. All right. Tell us about the first time you met Britni.
Wasn't it at the restaurant? We came by after we got into...
Oh, okay. I met her, Sport and Britni came by a little cafe that, on the water that they gave us, me and a friend. I was spending the night with a friend, and she, he hadn't introduced her to us before, and he wasn't with me. And then whenever my friend said, "She's a keeper. I think we have found his match."
Uh-oh.
And then I came home and told Scott. Yeah.
So you guys kind of knew it was maybe something that was going to be serious. When did you really get the inkling or the suspicion that a wedding might be in the future?
Okay. When there was Emery on the way.
Well, that'll do it.
But you could tell by the way he talked about Britni, it was, you know, it was that there was somebody that meant a heck of a lot to him, and it's good to hear.
Yes.